Okay, this is episode number 4. This is I'm going to talk about my time at Skowhegan. Skowhegan is one of the top art residencies in the United States, located in the heart of Maine, Skowhegan, Maine. Um, at the time I applied casually, I think 5,000 people applied around the world. They only took 50. And at that time, my dad was sick, and I told them, well, you give the residency to somebody else, okay? But her name was Barbara Lepchek. She died about 6 months ago. Beautiful lady. Uh, she was well, let's say Skowhegan was in conjunction with the Guggenheim. That's one reason why I had a group show at the Guggenheim. I was on the Camilla Cosby, Bill Cosby's wife. We know about Bill Cosby, but we're not going to go there. But nevertheless, it was a beautiful place. It was the wilderness of Maine, the heart of Maine, and so nevertheless, every artist had a cabin, and there I got the opportunity to meet a lot of famous artists, Roy Lichtenstein to uh, one of my friends and mentors. His name was Jacob Lawrence, and well, anyway, it was going pretty good, and well, let's say three incidences occurred there. Actually, it was a building block of how I got to Paris. In a future episode, I'll tell you about that. Nevertheless, I was considered what you call an outsider. I never went to art school, but I've had a lot of critical success just being myself and the passion of being an artist. I found my passion early on. You know, when I was about 4 years old, I always knew I was going to be a painter, uh, though I have many degrees in other fields of endeavor. So I'm doing my thing, you know, out there in the forest, what have you. And I was one of the older students, or what can call myself a student. A lot of the kids there were in art school, but I wasn't. Well, uh, nevertheless, um, uh, we had about, I think I guess about six black artists that were there at the residency, and okay, to understand the atmosphere of the location, you're out there in a remote woods or forest in Maine, and I would play my music. I play the Ohio players and what have you. I had a big old, they called it at the time, ghetto blaster. And some of the black students came up there and told me that I was making it bad for them, you know, with the music. I think they were put up, the administration put them up to do that. And I said, you know, mind your own business, basically. I'm just doing my thing. Then there was a society girl, I guess you call it a trust fund baby, uh, girl that was there from Manhattan, and I'm tempted to give you her name, but I'm not. Um, she her log cabin. They were kind of like log cabins, the studios. Her log cabin was next to mine, and she would come out there in a string bikini, just flaunting her body more or less. And so I didn't say anything. Then the next thing you know, she went to Barbara Lepchek and said that I was a potential rapist. Unbelievable. I was pissed. I said, F this. I was about to leave the, I didn't need that. So Barbara Letchek, she called me to her office and she explained everything to me. But before that happened, there was another artist named, well, I'm not giving any names, but he was from Minnesota, and they paid him to watch me. And he came and told me what the situation was all about. Nevertheless, how did that turn out? She broke her leg the last day. That's karma, you know. But I told Barbara Letchek, get the book called 100 Years of Lynching. I had a distant uncle of mine. His name was Silas Ealy. He was lynched back in the turn of the century in Louisiana. My grandmother showed me the tree, you know, the border of Louisiana and Texas down there in the sticks. And I said, look, I don't have to tolerate this. Yeah, I said, a lot of black men die behind this type of situation. And she begged me to stay, and I stayed. She had cured some funds for me, but that's one reason I stayed. So, the third situation at Skowhegan was at the end, everybody had um, they had a lobster cookout, and each participant had one lobster, you know, and Maine lobster. It was like a cookout, and so I so happened to pass by the kitchen, and I saw about 15 lobsters in the big pot there, and I asked the cook. I said, "What you gonna do with these lobsters?" They said, "Well, we don't like lobsters. We eat them all the time. We're gonna throw them out. So you want them?" I took the lobsters, took them back to my where I was staying on the compound, and I invited Jacob Lawrence. Jacob Lawrence, the famous black American painter that did The Great Migration, also a series called Hiroshima. But anyway, I invited him to my little place. He came and some other artists, and we had a good time. Well, this other black girl in the residency, she went to Barbara Lepchek and said, "Oh, Ealy's stealing lobsters." And she just rolled her eyes like, "Get out of here with that chicken shit." And so that was it was sweet, sour, sour, sweets situation. I got to know about the mindset of the New England mindset about the art scene, and the thing about here, here in Paris, to pick on the Africans again, it's colonial. So many galleries have come to my place, but they always tried to push me into the asimmer of being an African painter. I'm not African. And they said, where does that energy come from? It comes from Texas and Louisiana and America. So that's why there are a lot of doors are shut in the art world because if you think outside the box, which I've taught my daughter, excuse me, they can't accept that. It's a really wild concept. I was supposed to have an exhibit in Dakar, Senegal, and they wanted to keep pushing the emphasis of slave paintings, you know, and so I've got I never had a dollar that I didn't earn with pride because I had a million daydreams to keep me satisfied. So that's Skowhegan. Um, Often they give me updates, but that's a gone past era. But more power to them, and then future artists. Okay, thank you. That's episode 4.